phenomenal to work with. You are very fortunate to have them as your leaders here. But my goal today is to have you walk away here understanding how the new eSpring is clearly better in technology, improved user experience, and a connected experience. And we'll take the next 35 to 40 minutes to share with you how the new eSpring is better. Clearly better than the previous eSpring, clearly better than our competitors, and how it delivers a clearly better glass of water. And with me today is Jeff Shoemate.
Happy to tell you about the technology we put into it. The product design team did a lot of cool innovations, and we'll talk about a little bit of that in just a moment.
I'd like to kick it off. I know we saw this video a little bit earlier, but I think it's good enough to set up our presentation once again. So please watch our new eSpring video. Well, like I said, we've been rolling this out for the last couple of years, and I've seen the social feeds the last 3 or 4 weeks from the Philippines, the excitement around the new eSpring, and what I brought along are some social media posts from around the world talking about how great the new eSpring is. I want to share some of that with you today.
3, 2, 1.
Try that again.
No, not that one.
3, 2, 1.
It is so easy you can do blindfolded. Okay, let's talk about the new eSpring. This looks like a clean glass of water. Safe to drink, correct?
Yes.
Well, the contaminants that get removed invisible to the naked eye. So there could be microplastics in here, PFAS, pesticides, lead, we don't know. And even if your water is treated in a municipality, that has a long journey to your faucet. And we know that infrastructure has not been updated. In fact, I used the illustration in the US, if they start updating the infrastructure in the US, it would take over 240 years to get that done. Okay? So it has to get from the treatment system, takes a long journey to your home, and when it gets into your home, it goes through the pipes. Anywhere along the way, it could be compromised. You, as the homeowner, have control of the source of your water. You can protect your family by having a new eSpring, removing over 170 contaminants at 99.9% filtration. So today, we have been in the water treatment business for over 40 years, being the first ones to deliver carbon block and UV lamp technology back in 2002. With the eSpring, we have been, because of all of you here today, we are the #1 water treatment system for your home. And we've been that for over 12 years. #1 still, the #1 brand. We have sold over 10 million eSpring units in over 44 countries and territories. And it's all because of our ABOs and their customers. So thank you very much. Now, the previous eSpring has been out there since 2002. It was cutting edge technology, but as we talked about a little earlier, technology evolves, and we have new technologies that can deliver better claims, better performance, better water, a better tasting glass of water. So when we looked at developing the new eSpring, there was 3 key areas we wanted to focus in on. #1, new technology with UVC LED. This technology would allow us to not change any UV for 10 years or more. It lasts that long. And we're introducing the new E3 carbon filter, 3 layers of filtration. Together, this technology gives us over 170 contaminants that we can remove at 99.9%. Also, since 2002, we've had a lot of feedback from ABOs like you and your customers. And we know that the #1 pain point, how many of you have an eSpring here today? How did you like changing your filter every year? Was it kind of a pain? Was it kind of messy? Well, we have improved that experience with the 210 filter change process. In fact, a blindfolded person can do it. But we can do it in 2 minutes, once a year, with 0 tools. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Then the third area we wanted to concentrate on was a connected experience. For the first time, this unit is connected. You'll have visibility, knowing real-time filter status. You'll have resources on this app. You'll have one-click registration. You'll have how-to videos right on this app. And in other parts of the world, we have atmospheric air treatment systems, and you can manage those also on this app, the Amway Healthy Home app. So these 3 key areas are what we focus in on. And what we're going to start off with is Jeff Shoemate taking us through the new technology. In fact, he probably won't tell you this, but he started developing UVC LED in the lab back in 2013. And we're the first to be able to be NSF certified with this new technology, but it took a long time to get just the right technology with the UVC to commercialize it and make it have the strong claims that it has today. So Jeff Shoemate, please share with us the technology behind this first.
So now I'm the manager of the product design team that finished the product development of the new eSpring. But as you heard, I also was an engineer for a period of time, and I developed some of the technology in the UVC LED. So I've got a interesting perspective to be able to show and explain some of the product details. So as we know, the previous generation of eSpring was a really good product. And it worked very well. So the bar was already really high for us when we started developing the new eSpring. But we made the best even better. The new eSpring now has over 170 contaminants that we can reduce from the drinking water. And we know 145 of those actually affect your human health. We still keep the beneficial minerals in the water. And we will continue to test for emerging contaminants because our lives are changing, the environment changes, and new contaminants show up. So we have new claims now for pharmaceuticals. We had some with the old eSpring, we have more with the new eSpring. We have physical removal of cysts now that is new. And we have a new claim for reduction of microplastics and total PFAS reduction. Now, normally here I explain a little bit about microplastics and what they are and how they show up in our environment, but we had a much better presentation from the professor before me talking about that. So I'm going to just skip this section because she did a great job explaining what they are and where they show up. The important part is we have a claim for our product that we reduce those microplastics that may be in your drinking water. Now, PFAS is another common contaminant that we're hearing a lot about in the news today. And in fact, nearby where I live, back in Michigan, there was a big exposure a number of years ago from a company that had been putting some chemicals and they were disposing them improperly for decades. So it's a real thing that affects a lot of people everywhere. With the old eSpring, we were certified for just a few specific PFAS compounds. But with the new eSpring, we passed a testing protocol where they had 7 compounds that represent the entire PFAS family of chemicals. And we passed that certification, so we have an enhanced PFAS claim with the new eSpring. And with the new eSpring, we've added to the number of pharmaceuticals that we have in our eSpring. The old eSpring had 9 pharmaceuticals that we reduced. We can now reduce 19 pharmaceuticals. That's more than double the previous. And to make it a little easier for you to explain, because some of those chemicals have very long names that I can't even pronounce and understand, we broke it into categories. So like there are blood pressure drugs, neurological drugs, more antibiotics, and many different types of pharmaceuticals that we know we can reduce from your drinking water. So with all of those new claims that we have a clearly better water for a healthy lifestyle. And now I'm going to explain the 2 key technologies that are in the product that deliver all of those performance benefits. We started talking about how the old eSpring had a combined UV lamp inside of a filter. It was really convenient that it worked for 5,000 liters or up to 1 year. Every year you could change it out. It's very simple. One thing you had to worry about changing once a year. Well, that also meant you were throwing away a lamp and UV lamp electronics every time you had to dispose of your filter. Well, because of UVC LED technology and how long those last, we were able to take the UV out of the filter, and you still replace the filter on the same regular basis, but now the UV lasts so much longer, you don't need to replace it nearly as often. That let us focus on the filter change process, and it also helps keep electronic waste and UV lamps out of our landfills. This video I'm going to show you in a bit will show some of the key features and benefits of the separated eSpring. filtration technology that we use is our carbon filter. We call it the E3 carbon filter for a very simple reason. There are 3 layers of filtration. The first is the pre-filter. That captures your largest particles, things like sediment and scale and sand. Then the second layer captures some of the finer particles. Those are things like the microplastics we talked about, waterborne pathogens, and it helps also improve the water clarity. And then our third layer is our trade secret carbon formula, formed in a different shape to make up our carbon block. And that's really good at taking dissolved contaminants out, things like chemicals, PFAS, mercury, lead, and many other contaminants that might be in your water. With all 3 of those together, we can filter down to 0.2 microns, which is very, very small. But a great benefit of using activated carbon as your filtration technology is it takes a lot of contaminants out, but it leaves a lot of the good minerals in the water. So things like calcium and magnesium that are naturally occurring in our water sources and that your body uses for all your different bodily functions, we keep those in the water. So we strip out the contaminants, but we keep those things in there because they're good for your body, and they also give water its better taste. Now, after going through the E3 carbon filter, the water then goes through the UV chamber, where we have UVC LEDs. Now, we're familiar with LED technology in our lights. Most of the lights up here now are LEDs, and they replaced the traditional incandescent bulbs. Light sources that can generate UV, it took a little longer to develop an LED version that could generate that same kind of energy with enough power to work well. But they are here now. We've been using them for many years in this product, and as Tom mentioned, we worked with it for many years before they were even available. The same benefits of normal visible LEDs apply to UVC LEDs. They last a lot longer, and they require a lot less power. So with the new UVC LED system in the new eSpring, you get the same powerful performance of bacteria, virus, and cyst reduction with a much longer life and less electrical power required to run them. For a very quick and short science lesson, light is made up of many different wavelengths, and some of them we see. We're familiar with the red down to the violet color that is visible to us. Now below the violet color is the ultraviolet range. And UVA, UVB, and UVC are specific wavelengths of light. UVA and B we're familiar because that's what the sun generates that gives us either a suntan or a sunburn. But UVC energy is what we use to destroy those microorganisms. And for a UV lamp, that generated 254 nanometers specifically. But UVC LEDs generate a slightly different wavelength, which is actually closer to the optimal wavelength for destroying these microorganisms. They need somewhere between 260 and 270 nanometers to efficiently destroy them. And here's how that works. When a microorganism gets enough UVC energy, it destroys its DNA and RNA so it can't reproduce. Now, when bacteria gets in our body, that makes us sick because it gets in our body and it grows and it grows and it replicates and it continues to grow, and then our body has to take time to build up an immunity and get rid of it. When you expose them to enough UVC energy, they can't grow. So if they got in your body, they just go right out without even bothering us at all. So that makes UVC LEDs and UVC energy a great way to reduce any microorganisms that might be in the water and make them completely harmless. Now, it's one thing for us to say all of the great performance benefits that our product has, but you don't have to just trust just us, because we use independent third-party lab testing to certify or verify all the performance claims that we have. So a company like NSF, they have test protocols and different standards that they test our product to validate all of the performance claims that we have, and they can prove that we reduce those contaminants by the levels that we say we do. And then there's the Water Quality Association that has given us the gold seal for superb consumer water treatment products. NSF has 4 standards that they test our product to. The first one is NSF ANSI 42, and that's aesthetic contaminants, things that affect how the water looks, how water tastes, and how it smells. They don't really affect your human health at all, but nobody wants to drink water that smells funny or tastes funny. And if it smells and tastes funny and you're not drinking it, you're probably not going to be hydrating as much as you want to. Standard 53 is about the health effect contaminants. These contaminants we know are in water sources, and we know that they're in there in a quantity that can actually affect our health with long-term exposure. The standard 55 is about the UV performance. It tests how good UVC energy is at destroying those bacteria, viruses, and cysts. And then standard 401 is those emerging compounds. Compounds that are in the water sources to a limited quantity, or maybe not studied enough to know if they have a human effect yet or not. Microplastics might be a good example of that, where they would land in that standard for emerging contaminants. Now, Tom mentioned we were working with UVC LEDs back in 2013, and at that time, the standard 55 for UV performance, the protocol you could only use to test a product that had a UV lamp. Well, that's interesting when you're now trying to develop a product that has UVC LEDs. So NSF needed to update their protocol, and in doing that, they used some of our help to revise that test protocol because we had already been working with UVC LEDs. So in partnership together, we helped NSF come up with a better test standard for NSF standard 55. And because we were ready to go, we were the first company to have a system certified by NSF to standard 55. That was a great accomplishment for us because it's been something that we had been working on for years before we even got to this point. And with all of the performance testing and claims that we can make, the Water Quality Association has given us the gold seal. Beyond those certifications, we also have many patents on many different things at Amway. But we have some patents, 50 that are granted or pending for the new eSpring. And these patents cover things like how it looks, but they also cover important details about how it operates, like the UV-C LEDs and the pattern that we used to make sure we could perform very well. So I'm going to bring Tom back up here in a minute, and he's going to explain some about our other lab and manufacturing capabilities that are just world-class at Amway.
Thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing how the new eSpring is clearly better technology. So I'm excited to share with you behind the scenes, world-class manufacturing. So the new eSpring was designed in Ada, Michigan, but it's manufactured in an Amway world-class facility in China. And what we want to do is give you a glimpse and a tour through that plant, building the new eSpring.
How does Amway support customers' health and wellness goals? By offering high-performance, top-quality products for the home, like the eSpring water purifier for clean, great-tasting water, and the Atmosphere Sky and Atmosphere Mini air purifiers for cleaner room air. These products are designed, prototyped, and tested by our engineers and scientists at Amway World Headquarters in Ada, Michigan, USA. And they're assembled at our world-class Amway facility in Guangzhou, China. Throughout the process, our top priorities are performance, quality, and reliability. Inside the Guangzhou facility, employees are highly trained for each role on the line, bringing skill and dedication to every step. From unpacking components to final inspection, each Atmosphere and eSpring unit goes through more than 100 quality checks, inside and out. Infrared barcode scanning gives us full traceability as parts come together. So, if something isn't right, it's identified and corrected long before shipping. We inspect the eSpring water path for leaks. Compare each part to a digital model to verify dimensions. Confirm the unit itself measures up. And test for filter life and performance in all climates. Just like eSpring, our Atmosphere Sky and Atmosphere Mini Air Purifiers go through a rigorous process to ensure reliability and customer satisfaction. Each unit is carefully assembled, with checks for correct process order and missing parts. Specific functions are tested on each line, and the entire unit undergoes thorough inspection. We conduct performance tests in extreme temperatures, filter longevity tests, and verify durability, right down to the wheels. Finally, we package each unit with care, making sure all components are included. Behind every eSpring and Atmosphere product is a team of scientists, engineers, and technicians dedicated to ensuring Amway's highest standards for construction, performance, and quality. Together, we're powering clean air and water in homes around the world and helping customers meet their health and wellness goals for life.
Okay, that's the manufacturing, but before we go to manufacturing, and while we're manufacturing, and after we're manufacturing, we're doing extensive reliability testing because we want the product that's delivered to you and your business to work as it's intended. And we put it through extreme conditions because weather in the Philippines is very different than weather in West Michigan. That's different than Canada, different than China. So we put it through extremes, and we want to make sure that it works as intended when it gets to your home. So we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at our reliability lab and extensive testing that we do there.
Hi, I'm Jeff Shoemate, Amway Durables Product Development Manager. I'm also one of the new eSpring expert speakers. We get a lot of questions about the reliability and performance of the new eSpring water purifier. So today, I've asked Amway Reliability Lab Manager Gordon Penninga to give us a behind-the-scenes tour of this area. Let's see the many ways we tested the new eSpring water purifier for superior performance and reliability. The ambient life test speeds up a year in the life of the new eSpring unit, including the E3 carbon filter's flow volume over its expected 1 year lifespan. We also test the unit's on-off and water flow functions for more than 500 hours in on mode, the equivalent of 10 years of life. In the environmental chambers, we test the unit operation from the lowest humidity levels to the highest. Our dispense cart tests the new eSpring diverter and auxiliary faucet. The motors here rotate the handles through up to 52,000 on-off cycles to ensure superior long-life performance. Every test run in this lab is meant to simulate the actual user experience throughout the life of the new eSpring water purifier. We run these lifetime simulation tests in all known power grid and water pressure conditions, and in weather conditions from tropical to winter environments. Our goal is to find and fix problems so the customer never has them. Seeing is believing, right? For proven reliability and performance, the new eSpring water purifier is clearly better.
I'm proud to say that in the first 2 years, the new eSpring is the most reliable product we've launched at Amway from the air and water category. It's been amazing. Thanks to the great R&D work, we appreciate it. So, clearly better technology that's been tested and manufactured. Now we're going to talk about how it's clearly better with the customer experience, right? As I said before, the previous eSpring had been out there a long time, so we had an opportunity to hear a lot of feedback. And the number one pain point was that filter change process. So we worked hard to make that a much better experience, introducing the 2-1-0 filter change process. 2 minutes, once a year, 0 tools. Now I'm going to play a video showing you how to do this. And I want you to watch it very closely, because I'm going to call 1 or 2 of you up here on stage, and you're going to change the filter on the new eSpring. Now I've heard some of you had some practice a little earlier on, so you're going to be pros, I'm sure. But I'm going to look and we're going to time you, and we're gonna see, if you can maintain the claim I made, 2 minutes, right? It's gotta be less than 2 minutes. So let's watch this video carefully, and we'll have some of you come up and try to change this. You watch that carefully? Do I have some volunteers? I need 2 volunteers. If you don't volunteer, I'll pick you. Right here, come on up. I need one more person, right there. Come on up. Is Diana around here? She's got the watch. Come on. We're going to time this. You know how to do this, right? All right. So Diana's going to be timing, and we're going to see male or female who's fastest, okay? Okay. I'll give you a countdown. 2, 1, 0, right? 2, 1, 0, go! Seconds. Can you beat 37 seconds? Come on up! All right, you stand over here. Do we have a prize? We have a prize, right? Okay. You know what to do. He did something that you probably can improve upon. Keep that lever up, okay? It'll be easier. You can steal some time.
I think Tom wants to.
Okay. 2, 1, 0, go! Whoa! 2 seconds better. Diana's got some prizes for you. Okay, thank you for joining us. All right, that was fast. Okay, now as ABOs, this is one piece of your business, right? The unit. But it's ongoing revenue. Every year you need to change that filter. Every 5,000 liters or 1 year, whatever comes first. So we want to make sure you change that filter on time. And we tell you right here. And we also have it on the app. But we want you to change that for an authentic eSpring filter. It's the only one that's been certified by NSF. It has all the claims, 170 contaminants, 99.9%. So let's watch this quick video. improved it. We got feedback on other pieces that we could make improvements on. Do you remember the previous eSpring, like from yesterday, before we launched it today? It was bright blue, right? We had feedback that people didn't really want that bright blue anymore. This is a unit that they wanted to be able to blend into any kitchen decor. So it blends in there. You only have to interface with it once a year, right? So let it go, sit in its place, do its job. You have the confidence that it's doing what we say it's doing. So we made it so it blended into more decor. We know that kitchen counter space is valuable real estate. So by taking the tubes and moving them to the bottom, we made the footprint of the system 16% smaller. We also have indicators here, and it's not always on. It only turns on when the water is flowing. And it will indicate when you need to change your E3 carbon filter, your UVC LED filter, and it tells you when your unit is connected to Wi-Fi. Ideally, you want all those to be blue. And if there's an issue, it'll turn yellow, and when it's red, you gotta take some action, okay? Your service center will be your friend. We also offer it in 2 dispenses. One is above counter with a diverter, and one is below counter with an aux faucet. We've improved both of those dispense options, more durable, and they stay quieter. The diverter has a ceramic disc instead of the roller balls that sound like marbles were in there. You don't have that any longer. Also on the tubing, you can see on the bottom here, we have the flexibility. You can have both tubes going one way or the other way or one each way, whatever works for your kitchen. So we've made it so it's easier for you. So we've talked about clearly better technology, clearly better user experience, now a clearly better connected experience with the Amway Healthy Home app, okay? The next slide, we're going to watch a video highlighting some of the features of this app, and then I'm going to ask you to do something. Okay, I need all of you to bring your phones out. Get your phones. This is day 1 of launch. I need to make sure that everyone in this room and everyone who's joining us virtually downloads this app, the Amway Healthy Home app. This will give you real filter life status. We continuously improve the eSpring, so as we get enhancements, we'll send out firmware updates, so you'll be able to get those. We have this new app that's native to whether it's a Google type phone.
Yes, I have an Android.
Yeah, an Android. And then those who have an Apple phone. We have one of each on the stage. Who's Team Apple here? Yes. There's more of a split.
A little more split here.
Okay. So make sure you download that. We also have made it so you can place your order for the replacement filter with one click on the app. One-click registration. And one other thing that we heard loud and clear is people don't like reading user guides. They don't want to read a user manual to set up their unit. So what we did was people like to visualize, right? YouTube videos. So we have developed 15 videos around 2 minutes or less on how to set up your unit, how to maintain your unit, how to change your filter, how to connect your connect your unit. So all of those how-to videos are on the app too. There is no other product at Amway that has had more resources developed for this product launch. It's been 20 years. We want to make sure that the AVO had everything they need to make the sale of the new eSpring. And we are so proud of the assets that we've been able to deliver. But one that I'm particularly proud of, next slide please. Please take your phones out. Please take a picture of this. Everything you've heard here today, you'll have in the palm of your hand. Okay? What you have is the story of the new eSpring, the new technology, the improved user experience, the connected experience, and you can take your customers through that. It's in the palm of your hand. It can be used on a tablet, your phone, or a laptop. Okay? Make sure this is a great tool. On top of that, we go through the competitive technologies and how we're better than the competitive technologies. We talk about, and it's in every language. So no matter who you're talking to, we have it in their language. It's right at the beginning. Everyone have that? eSpring.com? Okay, as you scroll down at the very end, you can actually place an order on this, okay? It's linked as of this morning to the Philippine website so you can place your order. And you'll be able to get your PBBB and help a friend out with great tasting water. So this is a tool that I'm very proud that we were able to put together. This should really make it much easier to present. You don't have to memorize a lot of things. We know that you have a lot going on. There's a lot of products at Amway, and that's what makes Amway great. But it's hard to be experts in every single product. So the easier we can make it, the better. So in summary, what do? We remove the bad, right? Over 170 contaminants are removed, and 99.9% of bacteria, viruses, and cysts. It reduces the particulate down to 0.2 microns, including that microplastics we've talked about and cysts. But it leaves in the good. Those essential minerals like calcium, magnesium is much better at user friendliness. Filter changes in less than 2 minutes, and we proved that here today, less than 40 seconds. New Amway Healthy Home app, system monitoring, updates, filter ordering, product information, and how-to videos. And we take sustainability very seriously at Amway. We want to do what we can to improve our environment. So, less electronic waste because you're not throwing away that lamp anymore every single year. No need to buy water in single-use plastic bottles. And we didn't talk about this earlier, but it comes with a 5-year warranty. That's how confident we are. In the past, it was a 2-year warranty, 5-year warranty. I just want to thank you for coming out on a Saturday for this exciting eSpring launch. It's because of you, the AVO, that eSpring is the #1 selling brand of water treatment systems around the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom and Jeff. So we've now heard from from 3 different perspectives, from understanding the water quality conversation to seeing how eSpring is creating impact around the world, and finally going behind